Muy buenas tardes, muy buenos días a todos los que nos estáis acompañando una semana más a este Radar, esta edición especial de Radar. Soy Juan Carlos Fouz, para aquellos que no me conozcáis, y daros las gracias a todos por acompañarnos. ¿Quién nos diría hace ya 9 meses que íbamos a continuar con este programa que diseñamos de una forma urgente, por estar con ese objetivo de estar cerca de toda la comunidad de una manera virtual? 9 meses después seguimos mencionando estas normas de la casa. Primero, deciros a todos, por favor, que hoy va a ser una sesión especial, va a ser una sesión participativa, va a ser un poco más larga de la que habitualmente tenemos. Os invito a todos, por tanto, por favor, a que sí encendáis hoy vuestra cámara. A lo largo de la sesión de hoy vamos a pediros que hagáis algunas cosas, como iros al grupo. Por tanto, sí es muy importante que en esos momentos no os quedéis rezagados y vayáis a los grupos correspondientes. Os recuerdo también que es importante que pongáis vuestro nombre, y también la sesión general, sobre todo la parte general, hoy será grabada, la tendréis disponible en los próximos días. Como decía, muy bienvenidos a esta edición del Radar, que si recordáis, los que nos acompañasteis desde el principio, pues prácticamente desde el 26 de marzo hemos estado todas las semanas, todos los jueves, de forma ininterrumpida, presentes en este pequeño espacio, en estos 30-40 minutos, que hemos dicho minutos de valor, donde hemos compartido tantas y tantas experiencias. Recordaos que cada sesión de estas, de más de 40, 33 sesiones ordinarias y 7 especiales, hemos tenido distintos ponentes. En todas esas sesiones hemos hecho un pequeño resumen que nos ha encantado compartir, esos mensajes, esos pequeños tips que todas las personas que nos han acompañado fueron mencionando en sus intervenciones y que hemos compartido con vosotros. Es una buena sorpresa que ahora por Navidad os haremos llegar un resumen de todas estas contenidos que elaboramos a lo largo del año. Como decía, hoy es una sesión, yo creo, muy especial, porque termina con un ciclo que vamos a ver resumido de una manera muy rápida en esos más de 40, como decía, conferencias, más de 100 pulsómetros, más de 90 ponentes, más de 1.500 personas registradas y más de 1.100 participantes a lo largo de estos meses. Vamos a recordaros a algunos de ellos, en todos los primeros meses.
Nadie se podía imaginar empresas con toda su plantilla trabajando desde casa y 1/3 del planeta confinado.
No hay experiencia previa de esta situación.
¿Qué hicimos más? Ser proactivos.
Prepararnos para lo peor, pero esperar lo mejor. Porque quizá lo que más necesitas en un momento de crisis es frenar, pensar con claridad y actuar, ¿no?
Todas las crisis generan oportunidades.
Empezamos a centrarnos en la gente.
Pero lo más importante por encima de eso es la seguridad de todos los trabajadores.
Para nosotros lo principal es garantizar la seguridad de nuestros trabajadores.
No es el talento que tú tienes, es el talento que eres capaz de conseguir.
La estrategia la marcan las personas, ¿no?
Lo más importante es tener un plan y comunicarlo muy claramente.
No hay ningún plan que aguante un tiro, pero hay que tener un plan.
Podríamos decir que tenemos que repensar cuáles son nuestros modelos operativos.
El punto en el que nos encontramos en este momento es un salto de concepto y de forma de adoptar la ciberseguridad.
La digitalización tiene que llevar a cabo también, se tiene que hacer de forma humana, ¿no?
Desde la tecnología también podemos ayudar a estas situaciones que impactan tanto a las personas.
La tecnología está en nuestro ADN.
Un responsable de tecnología, como digo yo, es más bien un broker, no un desarrollador.
La transformación digital no es solo una necesidad, es vital para el cambio de la empresa.
Ser grande o pequeño no es diferencial.
Pero tenemos que garantizar que todo el mundo compite en igualdad de condiciones.
Esto tiene que ser el nuevo normal.
Nos tenemos que adaptar a este nuevo mundo.
O nos reinventamos o morimos, y para eso está la innovación.
Por lo tanto, la actitud, si la tienes, pues darás un mayor rendimiento.
Que esta situación viene para quedarse.
La importancia de la cultura y el cambio cultural en una empresa.
Lo único constante es el cambio.
La aceptación de los planes incompletos.
Tenemos que hacer una innovación disruptiva.
Lo que es fundamental es tener, en primer lugar, yo diría que un propósito compartido.
Cuando algo está claro el propósito, vamos todos a una, creemos, todo el mundo de la organización cree, se consiguen cosas increíbles.
Para mí, al final, incluso lo más relevante es el alineamiento de nuestros líderes.
No va a ser igual cuando volvamos.
No nos podemos permitir el lujo de fallar de nuevo.
El teletrabajo ha venido para quedarse.
Hemos aprendido a ser muchísimo más ágiles y más selectivos.
En realidad todo parte de tener las ideas claras, saber a dónde quieres ir.
Alíate, únete, construye ecosistema para dar mayor valor más rápido a tus propios clientes.
Hay un cliente.
Bueno, pues como veíamos, muchas intervenciones, recordad, prácticamente yo creo que hemos pasado por todos los sectores, hemos tenido distintas funciones, distintas visiones. Yo creo que me quedo con 3 o 4 ideas principales. Si recordáis de algunos de nuestros miembros, el mundo claramente mucho más virtual, más digital. Decía ayer Fernando Thompson en su entrada, este es el año de las tecnológicas. Amazon ha crecido más de un 40%, Zoom multiplicó su valor en muy pocas semanas. Probablemente todos hemos acelerado 4 o 5 años esa transformación de la que veníamos hablando en CIONET y en nuestros entornos durante todos estos últimos años. Pero el trabajo, el consumo, el ocio, todo eso, lo social incluido, nuestros amigos y nuestra forma de relacionarse se ha hecho mucho, mucho más virtual. Luego, nuestras casas. Segunda conclusión es que cambió radicalmente y fueron nuevos entornos. El teletrabajo nos llevó a muchos de nosotros a estar semanas o meses en nuestras casas, pegados a nuestras familias. Casi todos habéis destacado que lo mejor, sin ninguna duda, de estos meses fue estar cerca de mis seres queridos, de mis familias, de mis hijos, de mi esposa, de mi esposo. Esos momentos en los que muchas veces antes hemos sufrido por falta de tiempo y que ahora hemos tenido la oportunidad de disfrutar. Pero además es que esa casa se ha convertido en ese resguardo, en ese sitio seguro donde también ha sido, como decía, parte de nuestro mecanismo de trabajo, ha sido nuestro campo de deporte y en ocasiones también nuestro propio bar. Esto, gracias a Dios, está cambiando y esperamos que el 2021 venga con muchas mejores capacidades que nos dio el 2020, pero sin duda han cambiado hábitos. Y en vosotros, sobre todo, el manejar esa incertidumbre, el tomar decisiones más rápido y adaptaros de una forma más constante a esos continuos cambios que va a exigir este nuevo consumidor y este nuevo entorno, con idas y venidas en estas situaciones que, como sabéis, no permiten planificación de muy largo plazo. También nosotros, mirando el año próximo, pensamos que este radar fue un sitio de encuentro positivo, que traía optimismo y así esperamos seguir haciéndolo todo el año próximo. Y también hemos revisado nuestro propósito, ese propósito transformador y también con ese carácter masivo que tratamos de hacerlo y buscamos hacer de este entorno, de este mundo, un lugar mejor. Y lo hacemos a través de esa innovación e impulsando como hemos dicho ya muchas veces, modelos colaborativos y ecosistemas que os ayuden a vosotros, a los que consideramos los protagonistas de este contexto. Si decíamos este ha sido el año de las tecnológicas, los líderes tecnológicos habéis sido nuestros héroes, los IT Heroes, que hemos destacado varias veces, y cada uno de vosotros ha mejorado o ha ayudado a mejorar problemas muy concretos. Por eso, desde esa misión, nuestro 2021 lo planteamos desde esa mentalidad colaborativa, lanzando cada vez esos programas de más profundidad y de más continuidad, como son los círculos y las tribus. Después de repetirlo muchas veces a lo largo del 2020, esas tribus empiezan a ser una realidad, se lanzan en España y Latinoamérica y todas esas primeras compañías que han iniciado ese trayecto nos lo irán contando, su experiencia y sus avances. También hemos trabajado en el 2020 en ese pool, ese gran ecosistema de partners, ese alto talento que todos buscáis en startups o en personas y que hemos puesto a vuestra disposición a través de ese concepto que hemos llamado Wirepool. Dos grandes programas, os recuerdo, C-Talent y AI Scouting, que ya estáis disfrutando muchos de vosotros, que estáis accediendo a ese talento en condiciones ventajosas, en condiciones transparentes y también accediendo a startups y scaling ups a través de un modelo de inteligencia artificial que hemos desarrollado con muchos de vosotros. Gracias a todos los beta testers que habéis participado y gracias a los que estáis ya haciendo uso de ese programa. Por último, recordaos que dentro de ese propósito, nuestra misión también es reconocer y daros relevancia. Y por eso os hemos dado también protagonismo, micrófono, espacio y nos ha encantado que compartierais no solo vuestras aspiraciones, vuestros proyectos, los que tenéis en la agenda, sino también, en muchos casos, vuestras emociones. Y ha sido extraordinario recordar esos momentos y a nosotros nos ha encantado hacer ese resumen, ese vídeo y muchos de los documentos que os iremos compartiendo en las próximas semanas. Por tanto, hoy tenemos una sesión muy especial porque, además, como decía, hemos traído a todo un personaje, a una persona muy inspiradora que está en Nueva York, que es un gran emprendedor muy relacionado con el mundo de la tecnología, de los contenidos. Es un miembro de una organización en la que yo también formo parte, de YPO, y ahora os voy a presentar. El objetivo de la sesión de hoy es que conozcáis de una forma un poco distinta otros aspectos, otros de los elementos que queremos traer el próximo año. La idea es traer en CIONET una agenda mucho más completa, más abierta, más holística, que os ayude en ese empeño que tenemos de ayudar en vuestras carreras, ayudar a impulsar vuestro desarrollo personal y profesional. Y nos parece que es relevante. Hoy doy la bienvenida, ya está con nosotros, a Beri Meric. Beri fue licenciado por la London University, fue graduado en la Brown University de Rhode Island en Estados Unidos, fue MBA en Harvard, sus primeros años de experiencia estuvo en banca de inversión en Morgan Stanley, pero sobre todo es un gran emprendedor. Tuvo un primer proyecto que sigue existiendo, es el Exist Venture, y su proyecto, su hijo, del que es co-founder, es Ivy, del que hoy vamos a disfrutar. Ivy es una organización global, es una compañía que opera desde Nueva York y, yo digo, alimenta esa inspiración que enciende las mentes. Y como veréis, hoy él nos va a ayudar a crear un modelo diferente de aprendizaje. Va a ser, como digo, muy participativo. Y sin más, quiero darle la bienvenida. Beri no habla español, por tanto vamos a hacer esta parte de su intervención en inglés. Luego, como veréis, pasaremos a grupos donde ya en cada grupo podéis gestionar y utilizar el español e inglés, lo que os resulte más cómodo. Beri, thank you very much for being here. Welcome.
Hola a todos. So good to be here, Juan Carlos. Thank you for inviting me, and hi to everybody at CIONET. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm dialing in from New York City. We've had the biggest snowstorm in a very long time here overnight. So it's beautiful white Christmas looking outside my window. Just before we get started, I'd love to know where everybody else is dialing in from. So if you would please type into the chat window the location that you're in today so that we all get an idea of where everybody is before diving in. So please take a moment to chat that.
We'll use the chat for that. Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Amazing. Ecuador, Guatemala, Panama City. All amazing. Lots from Spain, Madrid, Brazil, Argentina, Chile. Amazing. So glad to have everyone across Latin America and Spain here with us. Really excited to get to know you all better. So we're going to have a very interactive experience here today together. I know Juan Carlos gave you like a little bit of background. Not that I've learned Spanish yet fully, but I do want to say that for everybody who's joining with video already, it's amazing to see you face to face. For those who are not on video yet, please take the next couple minutes to, finish the hair and makeup and make an appearance. We're going to have lots of breakout rooms. We're going to get to know each other eye to eye. So get ready for that. Today's theme together is going to be focused on how we can all individually and also through our organizations and through our fellow members at CIONET, how can we together better elevate humanity in 2021? And how can we better realign with our personal North Stars in the new year? So obviously we've got just 2 weeks left of what has been an extremely eventful year for all of us, many highs and lows for so many. And we have an opportunity, like we do every year, to reflect, look back, and think about what are the changes we want to make in the new year. So this experience is really designed for all of us to get to know each other a lot better, but also to really firm up and strengthen our vision for the year ahead and find ways that we can support each other in doing that. Before I dive in with the experience itself, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my journey, the Ivy journey. And as a little surprise, all of you here today who was able to join us live, you will each be receiving a complimentary gift, a month of Ivy with the leading minds of our time to learn from them and to interact with them and ask them questions live over the course of the next month. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about the platform, and that will also give you context for how today's experience was designed. So a little about me. I was originally born in Istanbul, Turkey. And at age 11, my family moved to Scotland, to Glasgow. And after that, I came over to the US as Juan Carlos was sharing about, for my undergraduate and graduate degrees. So when I moved from Turkey to Scotland, in Turkey, I remember every day was sunny. I had lots of friends. Everything was great. And then when we moved to Glasgow, all I remember was, it rained every single day. I didn't speak the language. I was the only foreigner in my school. I was a complete outsider. And it was very, very difficult to adapt. And it made me think very deeply about what does it mean to have community? What does it mean to adapt? What does it mean to really learn in the most effective way to make a bigger impact? A lot of things that at age 11, probably I would not have been thinking about if it hadn't been for that move. I lived in Scotland for 7 years. I did adapt. It took a couple of years. But I learned a lot about learning and community. And when I got to the States, the experience was very different. When I was in that collegiate environment for my undergrad or for my business school, I loved the fact that I was surrounded by classmates, all of whom were there to learn and grow and dream about the future, all of whom were potential lifelong friends and potential business partners, potential thought partners. And all we did all day long was learn and have fun. So life was good. And I wanted that to be lifelong and global. I wanted everybody to be able to have access to that on an ongoing basis. And that's what led to Ivy. So what we do today is we partner with the leading organizations in the world to enable them to provide this deep sense of learning and community on an ongoing basis, to really go to what truly matters and learn from the leading minds of our time. So today will be an example of that. And also, this is the platform that you're all going to have access to over the next month. Essentially, every single week, we host 3 thought leaders every single week. So 12 of them every single month. And it can be anywhere from Matthew McConaughey, the Oscar winner, talking about how to deal with wins and losses in life. That's coming up in early January. It's all about, culture of reinvention and how Netflix did that. That's with Aaron Mayer, who wrote the book together with Reed Hastings, the CEO of Netflix. We've got also practical stuff like 8 secrets to master the art of public speaking. How do we up our game when it comes to communication? So we have lots of stuff, 12 every single month that you can pick from. What's great also is that 24 hours after each session, you get access to all of the previous sessions. So you can go back, let's say, to Jonah Berger from Wharton University, How to Change Anyone's Mind. So you can watch the full video. You can listen to it as a podcast if you like to learn while you work out or cook or, drive. You can listen to it as a podcast. And then the best part for me is we also put together really robust key learning materials. So after every session, we create these how-tos from each one. So 5 key takeaways, 3 action items, and then everything that we learned, we summarize it into a how-to. So how to, kind of provide choice and reduce reactants. You can just read a few paragraph summary and everything is summarized accordingly. So all of the sessions are live. So they're at 12 p.m. Eastern time. And then if you miss them or if you want to go back to them, then they're in the learning library. You can also sort them in 5 key areas. So there's a lot about individual performance and well-being. So how to be happier, how to not burn out, things like that. Leadership and management. This is all about organizationally, how you give feedback, how you motivate people, how you have the tough conversations. Growth and innovation, which I know for everybody here is top of mind. So what are the critical trends and how do we learn about them and to leverage them for growth? Future of business and society, where is the world going? And equity and inclusion. So you can click on any of these and it basically creates this like focus list. And then you can also sort it by highest rated if you want some like tailored suggestions. So a couple that over the holidays, since you'll have access to all of this over the next month, just a few that I recommend. Jim Quick, this guy is the brain coach of Will Smith and Elon Musk. It's a really uplifting session that you can watch with your families. It's very entertaining, very fast-paced. How do you unleash your brain? So something that could be very helpful to you in the new year. So that's one suggestion I have. Another suggestion here is Dan Tomasillo. He leads positive psychology at Columbia University. How to harness the power of positivity and the science of hope. Hope as a secret weapon. Apparently, the employees that perform the best, it's not the highest IQ, it's not the highest EQ, it's the highest hope people that apparently outperform everybody else. So something to keep in mind. How to think like Leonardo da Vinci, to invent and to live life fully and to be super creative. And final recommendation, Eva Selhub, how to supercharge your health destiny. So how to be healthier in the new year. So these are 4, but there's 100+, so you can pick your own, but these are just some recommendations for you to the extent that you want to check it out. So that's all about Ivy. If you have any questions, you can feel free to get in touch anytime. I'm just typing my email into the chat window. And now I want to switch gears to the main activity for today. This is going to be an opportunity for us to dive deep, get to know each other, and chart a better course for the future. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to simply ask you 3 questions. That's it. I'll ask you a question. Then I will put you into a breakout room with your amazing, inspiring peers. And you will each answer that question, just 1 minute per person. That's it. Just 1 minute answer. And then as a group, you will synthesize your answer. You'll come back here. We'll hear a couple words from the different groups. And then we'll do that 3 times. Each time you will be better realigning with your North Star, broadening your horizons. And most importantly, it's all about getting objective about the world and becoming more self-aware so that each of you, and myself included, so that we can all become better leaders. Now, Juan Carlos's vision, why we're doing this partnership, it's very important because you could say, okay, but CIONET, isn't this like tech and, like more technical? Well, the whole idea here is in order to navigate our companies in the best direction, we need to be aware about all the things going on about the world and very self-aware too on an ongoing basis. So this is an opportunity to dive deep together to do just that. So I'm going to share with you now the first question I want everybody to answer. The good news is nobody was told this question in advance. So you don't need to be anxious. You don't need to feel like you need to be a poet in how you answer this. Just have fun, answer it however you like. Feel free to ramble. The only request is you have to keep to 1 minute in your answer when you go into the breakout room. So I'll ask the question, you'll go to the breakout, and we'll go from there. First question is as follows. Imagine that you were not just the leader that you are in your current organization, but imagine that after a series of career decisions and good fortune, all of a sudden you find yourself as the leader of the entire world, okay? Imagine you're the CEO of the whole world, and you have to answer the following question. If you were the CEO of the whole world, what would you say should be the purpose of humanity, okay? If you're the CEO of the world, what would you say should be the purpose of humanity? Now, this is not a philosophical question. It's not a theological question. We're not going to talk about, is there meaning in life and all that kind of stuff. That's a really fun question over drinks that we'll do another time. This question is a question that every leader needs to answer when they're in a position of leadership. When you're in charge, you have to define what's the mission, what's the purpose, why are we here, what are we supposed to be doing? So when we go into the breakout room, I'd like each of you to answer that question for 1 minute, and then you'll have a few minutes together to come up with a group answer. What was in common? How can we synthesize the different answers that people had? So once you get into the group, I'd like you to either go first, or I'd like you to volunteer someone to go first. Whoever goes first, please introduce your name, your company, and then dive in and answer your question. Okay, just 1 minute, provide your answer, and then pick the next person to go. So you'll answer for a minute, then you pass it to the next person. If someone is going a little bit too long, because they're very passionate about their answer, that's really good, but we only have a very limited time. So if someone goes over a minute, just like wave to just like, let them know that we got to keep moving before we run out of time. We will only have 8 minutes in each breakout, and there's going to be about 5 people in each breakout. So you'll have 5 minutes each to answer your questions, and then 3 more minutes to come up with a group answer. So that's pretty much it. If you have any burning questions, please feel free to put them into the chat window, so I'll answer it. I'm also going to paste the question at least in English, and I think in Spanish it was pasted also.
It's in Spanish also. Tenéis la pregunta en español. En los grupos podéis hacer la respuesta en español, y sí traéis la respuesta luego traducida para hacer la sesión conjunta. Okay, Beri, let's vote for the groups.
Okay, perfect. So everyone is going to be in the group in about 10 seconds. So like I said, enjoy this. This is meant to just be fun. It's not a test, but it will do magic for you if you fully engage with it. You will see once we do the next 2 questions as well. So enjoy this, and I will see all of you back here in exactly 8 minutes. Enjoy.
Nos vemos en 5
Welcome back, everybody. Everyone will be with us in just a few seconds. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your discussion. So before we get restarted, I'd love for you to take just 10 to 15 seconds really quickly to type into the chat window what you thought should be the purpose of humanity if you were in charge. So just make it a sentence and make it even shorter into a bullet point. And please share it into the chat window so that we can look back on these. So I'll give you 10 seconds to do that, please. Thank you, Manuel, for going first. These are beautiful. Thank you for everyone who's shared. Please, everybody else who hasn't shared, just take a moment to type that in. And while you do so, I just want to hear from a couple of the groups, just 30 seconds, what was the main thing that came out of your group? What was surprising? What was in common? Key synthesis. So who would like to share a couple of thoughts from their group? Please feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead. Manuel, go ahead.
Okay, our group, it was easy because we were very few people. So at the end, we said that taking care and improve, and we are telling about improve, make it better and reduce the differences of the things that we inherit, like people, nature, and all resources.
Beautifully said, Manuel. Thank you so much. So regardless of differences, make the most of it. Really, very nice. Thank you for that. And thank you to your group. Who else would like to share any thoughts from their group?
Algo, Milagros. Milagros? Algo?
Go ahead,
Okay. Okay, our group coincided that we should look for everybody's plenitude of life and utilizing technology so that everybody can have access to equal opportunity and not living outside exploration of other worlds.
Wow, beautiful. So using tech for equal opportunity, explore new worlds, and I love that word you use, plentitude. Very nicely said, Milagros. Thank you so much. Let's have one more person share from their group.
Yeah, Christina.
Go ahead, Christina.
Hi. I mean, my group was wonderful, and we had different ideas there. So I'm going to read, if you don't mind. So the common topic was that we talk all about people, emotions. So it was not around this, and the main sentences were balance the equation, daily empathy exercise, adapt our behavior to our digital society in terms of empathy, etc. Innovation to improve happiness. And the last one, create happiness and bring to the universe. So
okay, amazing. So the power, power of empathy and the power of innovation to help bring happiness, not just in the world, but across the world as well. I love it. Is there one more person who'd love to share before we move to the next question?
Let me tell, okay?
Go ahead, Manuel.
My group, we have almost the same big idea with equal opportunities, eliminating inequality, empathy, but we added harmony with nature. To preserve the nature is very important for the humanity.
Absolutely. Thank you for that addition. Of course, we can do all these things, but we also need to be in harmony with our surroundings. Very nice reminder. Thank you, Manuel. So everybody, thank you for participating in that particular question. You might be wondering, okay, that was nice, but how does that, how does that exactly, what do I do with that? So you don't need to answer this question, but already have in the back of your mind, based on the answer you gave, and based on what resonated with you from the answers that other people gave, think about, is there maybe an opportunity? Is there a gap? Is there something that you could be doing to live in more accordance with what you think should be the purpose of humanity, with what resonated with you? So let that sit in the back of your head. And I'm going to now ask you the second question. The second question, we're going to go from very macro to now micro. This question is very simple. If you could teach everyone in the whole world just one concept, what concept would you teach to have the biggest positive impact on humanity? Again, if you could teach everybody in the world just one concept of all the concepts you've ever learned, of all the concepts that have changed your life and helped you become who you are, helps you live every day, which is the one concept you would take to teach everyone in the world to have the biggest impact, positive impact on humanity? And because this is an experience in collaboration with Ivy, we're not going to just say, okay, this is my concept that I would share. I also want each of you to pair that concept with one very specific life experience that you've had that leads you to share that concept. So what's the concept you would teach everyone if you could? And why are you choosing that concept? What have you lived through that's making you choose that one versus any others? We're going to be in a new breakout room now. So you're going to be with a new group of individuals. And in your group, you're going to do the same things. 1 minute per person. Please introduce yourself. Please somebody go first and then choose the next person to go and pass it along. I'm going to paste the question into the chat window again, so you have it for easy reference. And it's going to be, again, just 8 minutes, 1 minute per person, and we'll go from there. So here it is in the chat window, and you'll get a quick Spanish translation. Oh, you've already got it, Douglas. You beat me to it. So thank you for that. If there's any burning questions about this question, please feel free to type it into the chat window. Otherwise, I'm going to put you in your groups right now and see you in 8 minutes. Any questions? All right, enjoy this. Oh yeah, Douglas, you have a question or are you waving? Waving. Okay, thank you. See you all in 8 minutes, everybody. Take care.
Ahora nos vemos.
Enjoy.
Vamos a los grupos. De regreso.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Good to see you all. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going to take 10 seconds again to type into the chat window what was that one concept you would teach to everyone in the world. So make it a sentence, make it a short bullet point, and put it into the chat window in the next 10 seconds so we can all look back on these. Thank you, Alejandro and Alberto, for kicking us off. Respect, faith, collaboration, empathy. This is great. Let's keep them coming. All right, this is awesome. Thank you. Let's hear something from everyone. So please feel free to type in the next few seconds. I've still got my business school cold calling skills for those who don't fully participate. So I don't want to call on you. So feel free to just type it. And here's what we're going to do this time. So last time I asked you, what was your group answer? What came out? This time, what I want to ask you is slightly different. I'd like for just a couple of people to share a concept that they heard somebody else say, a concept that you actually thought, that's awesome, or that's really useful, or that's crazy, that's really different, something that, you know, kind of struck you from something that someone else shared. So if you'd like to share with everybody what that was, please unmute and share who was the person that shared the concept and what that concept was. Who would like to go first?
¿No hay ningún voluntario?
I can do a few reflections. Okay, I really was very lucky. Okay, for the group that I was in. Okay, and although my suggestion, okay, was a kind of the odd one. Okay, the others were related to values, no, and really I would subscribe any of them. Okay, so generosity. So values in general, willpower. What was the other one? Juan Carlos, help me here.
Yeah, it was
respect. Yeah, respect. So
and yours?
I think, yeah, mine was self-awareness. No, but the others, okay, it all resonates very well. Okay, to what I could subscribe, and if we could teach more about that, okay, and learn. By the way, okay, starting with the learn more about them. Okay, I would definitely do.
Okay, excellent. Enrique, thank you so much for sharing those. That was valuable. Would love for one or two more people to share also a concept they heard, that you heard, that really resonated with you.
The concept that art and technology go together. It really struck me the first time I heard it, but I do subscribe it very much after nowadays.
Beautifully said, Milagros. Who was the person that shared that? Do you remember?
The Arshan. It's a blog that I go to.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much for that. Let's have one more person, a concept you heard that really resonated with you, that someone shared today.
Yes, in our team, we talk about the 4 pillars to teach to be better people. That is teamwork, resilience, empathy, and honestly. Very precise.
Very nice. Empathy, honesty, resilience, and teamwork. Powerful. Right. Thank you so much. That's excellent. Was there anybody else that wants to share before we move to the last question to bring this all together?
Maybe I can add on top of
everything
was said regarding the capacity to adapt and the trust, because we think we need everyone trust on the relationship between every people, and with that trust in the relations, we can improve, we can move, you can do everything you want at least. And the capacity to adapt on top of all that people say. Okay.
Beautifully said. So adaptability and trust as a key concepts that enable a lot of other things to happen. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, everybody who shared. All right, we've got now the last few minutes together, and these last few minutes are the minutes that will make all of the difference if you choose to commit and go deep and really, really think about the answer to the final question. I promise you that if you kind of really give it the thought it deserves, it can be transformative for 2021 for you and everyone that you love and everyone that you work with. The question is this: having said everything you said today about the concept and the purpose of humanity, having heard everything that you heard today, I'd love for every person to identify a very specific action item that they can take between now, okay, so middle of December, and the middle of January. So 4 weeks, so 2 weeks now in December, 2 weeks in January. What's one very specific action you can take to live more in accordance to the concepts that you said you would teach and what you thought should be the purpose of humanity? Specific, tangible actions such that you can look on January 15 and say, hey, that's what I committed to taking that action, and I've actually done it, and I'm so glad, and it's very clear whether you've done it or not. So, and to make this exciting or like fully relevant, I'd love for you to think about an action item like that for your non-work life, so outside of work, with your loved ones, friends, family, or your community in general outside of work. What's one thing you can do? One change you can make, one action you can take. And then separate from that, what's one thing you could do in your work role, in your leadership role? What's one thing you can bring to your organization? So 2 action items based on the concepts you shared and heard today, what it would be. So I'm going to give you actually a minute to think about that here. And then I'm going to put you back into a final breakout room. And in that breakout room, you're going to share what those action items are. And that breakout room is also going to be your quote unquote integration buddies, the people who you can stay connected with just for the purposes of this exercise, to check back in together on January 15th to say, hey guys and girls, I'm glad to share, I got it done, and this is how it went. That's what the purpose is of this final breakout room. So we're going to be thinking about the action items. I'll give you a moment of like a minute of silence so that you can think of an action item for your personal life, non-work life, as well as your work life. And then we'll jump into the final breakout room. All right, everybody, I'm going to put you into the rooms now. There's an awesome opportunity to keep yourself centered, aligned, focused, and do it with an amazing group of other people. And maybe you'll learn something from their commitment items that might inspire you as well. So this one is going to be like last time, just 8 minutes, 1 minute per person. And then you can also explore how you can support each other, how you can collaborate, how you'd want to stay connected just on this exercise going forward. So here it is for the final breakout room. Hope you enjoy, and I will see you in 8 minutes. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that experience. I have just a couple of final thoughts, and then I'm going to pass it back to Juan Carlos to wrap us up for today. So my biggest call to action is, I really hope you stay in touch with the people that you were just with and take that action item for your work life and non-work life that you committed to, and I hope that goes great. Second call to action, if you enjoyed these questions, take them and use them with your family, your loved ones, your friends at dinner, over the weekend. It really helps sometimes to reflect on things that are bigger than ourselves to help realign with our North Stars and get a bit more objective and self-aware about what truly matters to us. So hopefully you'll use these for yourself. And then finally, we will be setting you up with the complimentary month of IB experiences. So whether it's the ones I recommended or any other events that look valuable to you, feel free to engage with them and enjoy them as much as possible. If you have any thoughts, suggestions, or ideas for me, feel free to also email me directly. I'll type my email address again here. My final thought as I close is that as leaders, we all have to work hard. We have to persevere. We have to have a big vision, right? These are table stakes. We don't get to achieve anything without these things. What I've found, though, is that the most critical ingredient always is conviction, really believing in something deeply, to have a really solid North Star, because everything changes, all the highs and lows happen with a strong enough conviction and goals and action items, we can really get much farther. And the best way to build conviction is learning and community. So hopefully this was a learning and valuable community building exercise for all of you, and hope to get to know all of you a lot better. And with that, Juan Carlos, would love to pass it back over to you.
Thank you very much. Beri, has been an amazing experience, even for us. We used to talk about IT problems, efficiency, and so on, and talking about leadership and how to change the world. It's not our typical item, but I'm ready to use more our time in CIONET and to think together how to change, how to improve our world. I think that these guys that you have here are the make changers. They are doing constant change in their companies, in their environment. So if we move together in that direction, we'll get a great change. And that's my best wish for the next year. All together, I'm saying every week the same, all together we are stronger, and I really believe that. Creo realmente que si lo hacemos juntos somos más fuertes, juntos más fuertes, lo hemos repetido hasta la saciedad. Vamos a seguir el próximo año, un 2021. Os deseo a todos muy felices fiestas, que os mantengáis con mucha salud, vosotros y vuestras familias, vuestros seres queridos, que sigamos contribuyendo. El que da, como decimos todas las veces, cuanto más damos en este entorno, más recibimos. Hoy es una muestra de ello. Beri, thank you very much for your gift. I expect that all our audience can use this amazing gift. Hemos anticipado los Reyes Magos con este regalo de Navidad, un mes de regalo. Disfrutadlo, usadlo, porque grandes mentes de todo el mundo están presentes en IB. So thank you very much again. Thank you, everybody. See you on the new year. Stay safe. Beri, from New York to Santiago de Chile, from Spain, Europe, and all our countries. Thank you very much. See you in the next weeks. Thank you. You'll have all information in your emails, in the app, in the web. Follow us, and don't forget us in the beginning of the year.
Happy holidays, everybody. Really love
Happy
meeting
holiday.
you. Take
Thank
care.
you, Beri. See you. Take care, everybody. Gracias, amigos. Hasta muy pronto. Gracias a todos.
Hasta luego. Gracias.
Adiós, Alejandro, Patri.
Gracias.
Hasta luego. Muchas gracias.
Ha sido estupendo. Gracias a todos.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias,
Cristina.
Buen día, hasta luego.
Adiós, Rubén. Adiós, Mikey.
Feliz
Raúl.
Navidad.
Alejandro, feliz Navidad.
Igualmente, feliz Navidad.
Rodolfo, Peter.
Saludos para todos.
Saludos, un abrazo, Mike. Rodolfo Viola, Isi está con nosotros. Okay, I think Rodolfo and Peter's. Beri, thank you very much. Did you
Such a
enjoy
pleasure.
Sessions?
Yeah, that was great. I loved it. And by the way, look, this is what it looks like in New York. I don't know if you can see, but It's snowing like crazy. I don't know if it's visible, but it's very nice.
Really nice.
So it was nice to get to know everybody while having that outside.
Hey, Beri, could you make me host, please?
Of course. Yeah, here we go.
Thanks.
Well, I think it has been a great session. I feel that it's very different.